The pandemic was certainly interesting. I assumed immediately that we were closed forever. And that's why it's good to have business partners, because she called and said, we're going to go on online ordering and let's see what we can do to hang until this thing blows over a little bit. So we've really had to pivot and adapt in several ways, but we're still hanging in. Well, a typical day at the Cupcakery is someone comes in about 8 o'clock in the morning. If it's a busy Saturday, maybe 6:30, that 2 or 3 of us come in the morning to get ready. We have orders that have been called in previously or that have been sent in electronically, online, or sent to us by email. We have to get the store ready. We put all our cupcakes out that we're gonna sell, and we do orders. We generally have 1 or 2 deliveries per day that we make. There's a lot of cleaning, there's batter making, frosting making, ordering of things. For me personally, it was a change from what I had been doing. I had been doing a desk job. I'd worked in law firms since I was 17. And I wanted to do something that spoke more to my creative side and something that would be of value to downtown Morgantown. Purely out of left field, I had a daughter who lived in New York and one who lived in Washington. And I don't know how this started, but when I would Uber to them from the airport, we'd immediately go get a cupcake at a cupcake shop. And I just thought they were so cool and so fun and so pretty. And didn't realize how hard the work would be, and kept saying, gosh, this is so much fun. And both of them would say, well, you could do this, Mom, why don't you do this? And within a couple of years of that, I met Anna, and she was interested in opening a business, hadn't settled on what kind of business, and so I suggested the Cupcakery. My son will tell you I never baked a day in my life, which is not true. But you know, I did the usual mom baking of cupcakes for school, and I always did themed birthday cakes themed to each kid. Tried to, you know, make nice cupcakes, but more often probably cakes at home. Anna and I worked for a solid 6 months before we ever opened the storefront, aside from the fact that we took this building back to the studs and built it back out. But we spent that time working on the menu, coming up with things. I mean, some things were her grandmother's, you know, inspired by what her grandmother baked or what she and her grandmother baked together. So inspiration from all over the place. We were in the basement of my husband's law firm for 6 months because the health department would classify that as a commercial kitchen. So we catered out of there. We didn't have a process where you could come in and buy cupcakes, but we worked on all our recipes there, and that gave us about 8 taste testers upstairs who finally, after they gained about 10 pounds, those 6 months, they begged us to stop coming around with our spoons and saying, which of these 2 buttercreams do you like better? So it was just a reflection of what we liked. First homecoming that we were open, we opened just in time for the big LSU game 12 years ago when game day was in town. I mean, just in time. I think we opened Thursday afternoon. We walked cupcakes up to the game day trailers and gave them free cupcakes. Then homecoming that year, we had no idea how busy we would be. And it was just me and Anna, and we had 2 employees at the time. And we were here at like 8 o'clock that night, and just, it was a wreck. I mean, I know I have boxes piled up now for our upcoming Cupcake and Craft Beer Festival, but there were just dirty dishes everywhere and iced cupcakes everywhere. And the 4 of us were sitting in chairs, just, we were like, what in the heck are we gonna do? And my husband walked in and he was like, oh my gosh, you guys, do you need help? And we're like, yes, please help us. And he was like, well, are you gonna start? And I said, well, I don't know that we can even get off of these chairs. We are just exhausted. And Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake came on the radio, and the 4 of us looked at each other and jumped up and started dancing. And my husband was like, have you all lost your minds? What is going on? How can you do that? And I said, because we like that song. And so after we danced, we got up and we cleaned up the place and went home, and it was easier after that. And we're still close to those 2 employees. We still keep in touch, as we do with a lot of our former employees. And that's a special moment, for sure.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.